So say you've picked a selection of notes, you've picked a particular scale that you want to work with. On its own, that scale's not going to be very useful to us, really, because music's really cool. I mean, the reason music is fantastic is it happens in real time. It's not like a book where you can put the book down and take it up later, or a painting that you can look at in an art gallery and just see it there hanging on the wall, and you can look at it, from many different directions, and it could have been something that was painted maybe over 200 years ago, and you can still enjoy it now. The reason that music is great is it's something that happens in time. So, a piece of music will start at a particular time and it will end at a particular time. So everything we've been looking at up to this point, we've been looking at the system of general sounds that we're likely to make in Western music. So we found the 12 pitches, and we've seen the way that those are arranged over octaves, going from very low sounds to very high sounds. But the pitches on their own are kind of useless to us. It's a good toolkit, if you like. We've got all these tools that we can use to build things like scales or melodies or other things like that. But perhaps the most important thing about the way we arrange those is how they're arranged in time. And that's what we're going to start looking at now. And it's called rhythm. Rhythm's an amazingly cool word because it's the longest word in English that doesn't have any vowels in. A, E, I, O, U are the vowels, and rhythm does not have any of those. But more importantly than that, it's a absolutely vital part of all music. It's what makes music, makes us want to dance to music. It's what makes us feel the groove in music. It's what makes armies want to march in step and keep going and keep running. It's when we're in the gym and we hear music with a great rhythm, it can make us want to keep going on the treadmill or the exercise bike for a little bit longer than perhaps we think we even can. So if we want a really simple definition of rhythm, one thing we could say is that rhythm equals sounds in time. So it's the way we organise sounds in time. And so there's some other words that will come in very quickly when we start to talk about this. So a really important one is beat. And the best way to introduce beat to you is, of course, take a listen to your heartbeat. And that's something that's going constantly at a very regular rhythm, or at least hopefully if you're a generally healthy individual, you'll find that your heart is going at a regular beat. And we use beat in music to talk about the regular patterns that we find in most music. And so another thing we'll need to look at is the way we can arrange beats into larger groups. A bit like our pitches and scales. We started off with some pitches, and then we said, well, actually, they're only going to be useful to us if we can organise them in something a bit bigger, a slightly bigger group of pitches, and that became the scale. Very similarly with rhythm, we might start with a beat, but we might want to say, well, these beats naturally fall into particular groups of 2 or 3 or 4, and we'll be having a look at all of that. And the reason that we do all of this is so that we can start to put on top of this underlying beat that's always ticking away, we can start to put different sounds of different lengths over the top, and that's what makes music exciting, and we should start to have a look at that right now.